Everybody knows somebody who hates their job, and maybe that somebody isn't even you. In fact, half the people in the United States who work would do something else for a living if given the chance. That's an epidemic. Hey, look, I know it's hard to change, easy to stick to the devil you know, walk away from a paycheck and benefits that doesn't fit conventional wisdom, doing something more meaningful. I mean, who wants to make less money? But when I think about this subject, is think of my grandfather, the immigrant grandfather, who left Poland alone in a boat and 17 years old to go to New York City. I wanted to think about talking as happy at work. But follow the tip, that's happy. What you talk about? Happy. My dad, first generation American, he was the first to go to college, the first to have a good corporate job. It was the 90s, 60s version of being happy at work, but he really wasn't. And today, the research shows that we're happy at work. People want to be engaged. They want to have master of this subject matter. They would know about paycheck they get. We know about that 50% can figure out two months. Well, that's because when our doubt, we look to our resume. We look to our credentials, our qualified to do. What we're qualified to do is not necessarily what we're meant to do. It isn't necessarily what's gonna break us satisfaction. Think of an egg, if you will. From a little hummingbird egg to an ostrich egg. All of them are around the shell. For people, that shell is our credentials, track records, accomplishments, and our resume. A lot of us get attached to the shells because it comes their identity and it's hard to change. But to get the good stuff, you have to crack the get open because the inside, the yolk, the golden cell, that's where the DNA is. That's what determines how each egg is unique. And for people, I call that yolk. It can be taken away as just a status, your identity, what people think of you, the perks, the salaries, but we can't be taken away and that the yoke, and that's where the discovery of your career satisfaction can happen. Maybe it's more important to understand that career satisfaction doesn't come from what you do. It comes from what you get to be while you're doing that job. How your job allows to be. That's where the happiness comes from. So the shell is what you do, but the yolk is who you get to be. When I was in my 20s, I wanted nothing more to be a Broadway star. Well, I did reasonably well. I got my uni car, to be hours. I gave myself 5 years to make it, and at year A, I was still awaiting on a table. And so I could respond. I really almost suicidal at the fact that I failed at the only thing I ever want. Why had done this dream come true? I worked so hard, I invested so much. 10 years after I left show business, I had a epiphany about this. I remember the scholarship that I was up for an acting program when they asked me what would be possible if you were successful as a performer. And the answer came to me in a flash. I knew what the right answer, the Miss America pageant answer, the Edward Child answer, I'm gonna get this scholarship answer. When I went up to the mic and I said, well, if I was successful as a performer, people would see me on stage and be moved to change something in their life. That answer got me the scholarship, but it wasn't that 10 years later when I realized that I said the performer was the shell, causing change from the stage. That was the yoke. That was me.